This is ascension. Lift up to a new dimension. This is ascension.
Hey, what's up, guys? It's been 9 or 10 days since the show. I just want to take you guys through sort of a little day in the life, show you where I'm at. I've already been up for like an hour and a half, getting back to client updates. I sort of do that in my bed, sit in my bed and update Regan, Val, Juji. All my clients are competing. Cody, Emerson. Some of them are doing the Amateur Olympia, and then Regan's doing, obviously, the Mr. Olympia competition. So it's now 8 o'clock a.m. I'm out of bed, I'm up and at 'em. I'm doing my morning routine. So first thing in the morning, I have 2 scoops of my glutamine. And it's the highest quality source, fermented. And when some of you guys ask, like, oh, what does fermented mean? Why is that the highest quality source? It's just ensuring it's coming from the highest quality sources of amino acids. Like glutamine would usually be from like beets, essential amino acids. Again, when they're fermented, it's vegan sourced. It's not coming from like weird sources. If it's not identified and it's just regular BCAAs, it could be coming from like bird feather, hair, nails. So there's so many different sources to get amino acids. So I like to always make sure they're fermented source because you know what you're getting. Then I'll do 1 scoop of Relight. This is electrolyte based supplement. And I'll mix that in 750 mils of water. And then I take that down. Whoa. So I have that, and then I have my kidney and my liver HD. Very important post-show for bodybuilders, especially guys that are using, gear and whatnot. You have to really make sure your liver and kidneys are taken care of. So, times of recovery, I take them multiple times a day. Right now, I'm just doing them 3 times a day. So I'll take down my hydration drink, and I'll actually fill it up and just have another 750 mils of water when I get on my cardio, because I like to have about 1.5 liters of water in before I eat meal 1. Also, got my coffee. I put a shot of espresso in here. Rachel's blend of coffee, whatever it is on there, it tastes good. And I put 2 Splenda in, and I'll put a little bit of cream or milk now, whatever's available in the fridge right now. Where Rachel's on cream strike.
No, you're on cream strike.
Oh, okay, well, we don't have any cream, so so that's that. I will take this down, do some emails, and probably in about 30 minutes, I'll jump on my cardio. Being post-show, I think it's really, really important that people stay in the same routine. A lot of people get they start creating bad habits post-show. They're waking up at 7 a.m., doing their cardio, all of a sudden they're sleeping in until 10:30, not doing their cardio. There's major fluctuations in their lifestyle. So I like to keep everything kind of like the same as I can. So that way there's not major fluctuations. So I'm in the same routine. Obviously I'm not doing as much as I was, so now I'm doing 20 to 30 minutes of cardio. But yeah, the routine's still the same, I'm only up about 5 pounds from the day before the show. So that was the goal, to really control this rebound, put on a lot of quality muscle. But let me get my coffee in, let me get this in, wake up a little bit, and I'll give you guys some more information on reverse dieting. All right, guys, so here is my diet for today. Today is a chest training day. So I have a couple different diets and days, and I want to go over that with you guys and explain the reasons why. But today we're going to call this one a regular training day. There's other workouts of my back and leg training where the diet is a little bit different, because those are priority muscles that I'm trying to bring up, so the carbs are actually a little bit higher. Then my off day, I scale back. So over the last 9-10 days, I've been making sure my weight is staying within range. I don't want to be really more than 5 pounds over. So I did a couple phases. So I initially started my calories at about 3,600. And now you can see the regular training day here I'll go over this with you guys and show you. So we're gonna do our best to show you guys here, but this app is called FitLog. It's pretty awesome. So you can see it calculates my totals here. 4,300 calories, 347 protein, 495 carb, 102 fats. Even says the fiber content, the sugars, and it gives you a percentage breakdown too. This is my meal one right here. So we got our whole egg. We got 2 of those. We got 5-ounce chicken. We got our quick oats and some dried fruit, which I'm using pretty much goji berries right now. I love those in the oatmeal. And it calculates the total calories. So you can see the calories in that meal. So this app is really cool. We use it with Team HD. It's fitlog.ca. So my meal number 2, 5-ounce chicken breast. I go lower protein, higher carb on that meal because it's 125 grams of cream of rice, which is 103 carbs, but also take 10 grams of EAAs with that meal. I do that whenever I do lower protein, especially in the off season. During the workout, this is inter-workout, Carb HD. We got our 15 grams of EAAs in there. Red and real salt. Meal 3, I'm doing chicken breast. This is my post-workout meal. So during the workout, I'm sipping on my carb drink, start to finish. I finished that about 3/4 of the way through the workout. That way, by the time I eat, I wait another 45 minutes after the workout to eat. That way, my blood glucose is given a chance to drop back down. If we're drinking our carb drink right till the tail end of the workout, and then going and eating a meal, our blood glucose is still going to be up. So we want to bring that down. Then when I get home, I'll have chicken breast with another 10 grams EAAs because I want to keep that protein volume down because we're going for another 105 grams of carbs. And I'll either choose cream of rice, but I also give myself the option in the off season. Hey Penny, come here. Give myself the option in the off season. So if I want to have something like cereal, like white bread, bagels, and put some jam or honey on there, that option's there. I'm totally fine with that as long as it's low fat, high carb. I'm aiming for 105 grams of carbs. Post workout, the body's gonna uptake that. But just want to talk about the diet in this app a little bit, just because it's been super helpful for me, especially with clients. Gives you all the calculations, the grand totals of all the calories. That way you know exactly what you're eating, because a lot of people I think are overeating because they're not calculating everything. So this literally calculates everything. You can make sure you eat enough fiber. Yeah, it's been super helpful. So guys, definitely check it out, fitlog.ca. So yeah, we're going to get on cardio here when we're finished our coffee. Yeah, doing my cardio, 20 minutes in. Today is regular training day, so I do a little bit more. I do 30 minutes. On my weaker body part days, I scale back on the cardio because we just want surplus calories. So yeah, I love the elliptical. Something about the motion fits me, my body. I know not everyone loves it, but I love it. I think it's good for my back too, my disc, just because the rotation, kind of squeeze the abs. So I'll do 30 minutes here, and then I'm going to do my mobility work, stuff I learned from Dr. Jordan Shawlow's Muscle Doc, and I do some abs core work here, and we'll get to the gym later. And a workout. I'm hoping that Jordan can actually meet us there so I can show you guys the movements that we incorporate into my routine to help my back. He'll be able to explain it a lot better than I can. I'm waiting to hear back from Jordan to see if it's a go. So you'll probably notice I got this waist trainer on. I don't believe the waist trainer is gonna make your waist necessarily smaller. For me, I found it benefited me because when I am doing cardio and I'm huffing and puffing, just like when we're posing on stage, it's just training my body to be able to keep my waist in and breathe more with the upper chest and keep this tight and blown out. So that's the reason why I'm incorporating it, especially as my weight's going up. If I can put on 10 pounds or whatever and still fit this same waist trainer that I was wearing when I was flat and depleted leading to prep and breathe, I think it's gonna be a huge benefit. And any of you guys, these shirts are awesome from GASP. I've worn these since 2013 when they released the oversized tees. I love the oversized tees. This is the GASP Iron Tee. You guys can get it on GASP website. It's great because they're shipping all across North America now. It's really quick. It used to be really slow. So I put an order in, have it at my door in 3 days, and Dorian15 at checkout will actually save you 15% off. So definitely check it out. These are my favorite shirts You guys have seen me wear the thermals and the thermal hoodies. Super comfortable. Lots of room. All right, guys. So breakfast, meal one. I'm starving. We got 5 ounce weighed out of our Prep Shop Toronto chicken breast. It's amazing. We're gonna do 2 free range whole eggs. And then we're gonna do 100 grams of oats, which I've worked my way up to this. Right after the show, I was probably eating about 70 grams. So now being 10 days post-show, I've been gradually increasing the calories. I use this oatmeal, or quick oats, organic quick oats, my President's Choice. I always like to use quick oats because if you get oats in their whole form, basically it has a lot of phytic acid in it. When they make them into quick oats, the way they process them, it eliminates a lot of that phytic acid. So better digestion, doesn't interrupt with nutrient absorption from your vitamins and minerals. And then we got goji berries. I used to love these, I use them all the time. So with this meal, I'm aiming for 15 grams of carbs from either like dried fruit, whether it's goji berries or raisins or blueberries, raspberries, fresh fruit. The goji berries are great in the oatmeal because once it's cooked and you put them in, they get like really soft and they're nice and sweet. So, and there's a ton of nutritional value in them. My salt, as always, I like to put cinnamon in my oats as well. Then 5 caps of Vite HD. I got my probiotic and I'm adding 10,000 IUs of vitamin D on top of it. Now, the reason why I add that is because I find that's a sweet spot for me for vitamin D. Everyone's a little bit differently depending on your deficiencies. So in the Vite HD, per serving, 5 capsules, you're getting 1,000 IUs. So if you take it twice a day, you're getting 2,000. I'm aiming for 12,000 daily. So that's why I add another 10,000 with my breakfast. And this will vary person to person. So definitely recommend getting your vitamin D levels checked out. See what is optimal for you. The Vite HD, guys, like I think this product, we haven't done enough education on it, but it really is incredible. Like it has everything you guys need in one product. When you look at the back, this panel here is strictly vitamins and minerals, all in the highest quality forms. So like everything's tracks, albumin, like all the highest quality forms, proper dosages of vitamin K2, everything, magnesium. And then this other panel here, this is like additional ingredients like ubiquinol. Like someone would spend $30 on a bottle of ubiquinol and you're getting a full dose serving in here. Curcumin, you got KSM-66, you got Spectra, you got pine bark extract for heart health. So there's all these other ingredients in here like PQQ, which is great for your brain, antioxidant. So there's so many ingredients in this product. So if you guys are looking for a vitamin that has it all, that's the one. So I'm gonna use that for my first show. And with the chicken, I actually just throw it on like this and I'll flip it. Chicken's amazing. I actually tried their flank steak. I have some coming later today, so maybe it will come. I'll show you guys. Really good. Then we got our measured oats here. I got the water boiling. Boom, dump that in there. You guys know I always like using the pot, not the microwave, just so I can control the volume. And I really like to make sure my stuff is cooked thoroughly, especially like the oats. Because I feel like if they're raw, they just don't digest as well and they sit really heavy. Same with cream or rice. I like to like really gauge it and make sure it's cooked really well so it digests well. So I always use pre-contest, off-season, I always use Sweet Heat, President's Choice. Now that we're still prepping, but I'm kind of like in a rebound phase of like adding calories and trying to put on some muscle. So I might add like just a little dash of ketchup on there, but when I turn it up, I cut that out. I just drizzle that on there. I'll actually then, I don't count the calories in this right now, When I get to like full contest prep and I'm prepping, yeah, I make sure it's all accounted for. And like even in this meal here, guys, right? And you see this? So like on the FitLab app, it's amazing, it tracks everything. So this meal, if you're counting every single macro, like even in the oatmeal, for example, 100 grams of oatmeal, there's protein in it, right? And this calculates it for you. So it's like when you look at the protein content, yeah, 13 grams of protein oatmeal. I usually don't really count that. It's like, I pretty much count the direct source, but it's calories.
13 grams?
13 grams.
Of protein?
In oats for 68 grams of carbs. Because even for if you look at the back here,
that's a lot.
for 40 grams, right? 40 grams, you got 4 grams of protein for 30 carbs. So 2.5 fat. There's fat in oatmeal too, right? So like for 100 grams of oats, which is 68 grams of carbohydrates, you're getting almost 7 grams of fat. So this meal with the 2 whole eggs, with the fat, the chicken breast, which is 4 grams and 5 ounces, the fat content is 21 grams. So the total calories in this meal, if you're counting everything, is 788. So that's why using an app like FitLog is so useful if you're gauging your calories. Because you can cut calories by not necessarily cutting carbs. So if I need to have, look at it this way, if I need to have 30 grams of carbohydrates, right? Well, if I choose cream of rice, 30 grams of carbohydrates, I'm not getting the 2.5 grams of fat. I'm not getting that extra 4 grams of protein. It's going to be a lot lower. Those are calories, right? So it's going to be lower calories. And if people are eating it multiple times a day, it all adds up. Rachel has done an amazing job over the years finding balance. She worked with Lane Norton long time ago, got her out of bad eating habits, learning the macro-based dieting, and everyone's always just like, what does Rachel do? And she just found a really good balance with her calculating her calories, knowing what she has coming in, what she has going out, and she lives an amazing lifestyle and gets the freedom to kind of, eat what she likes.
Well, thanks.
Yeah, but it took a long time to
Yeah,
get to that.
it did, yeah. I worked with him almost 10 years ago now.
Yeah, Rachel needs to
2012.
Rachel needs to start helping other people because she has a lot of experience. All right, so here's the oatmeal. I got the goji berries in there. They get all soft. Guys, I'm telling you, try that. You're gonna love it. It's amazing. Delivery just came in. Wait for this. It's been 3 days. The shipping's pretty quick. I think it's from GASP. Okay, maybe training in style. The GASP sleeves. We got the wrist wraps, 2 different color combinations, so I can be cute and match. Yeah, it's my favorite thermal gym sweater. This is the new Sean Clarita oversized. I think this is an oversized tee. It's actually the thermal material. That's really cool. Awesome material, nice and big. That's a hoodie, thermal hoodie. Another one of the Sean Claritas. This is the iron tee. That's what I'm wearing right now. I actually got one size down just to see how they fit. This sweater is great. I bought it before, but for some reason I couldn't find it, so I grabbed another one. Like I said, if you guys want any of the gas stuff, just use Dorian15 at checkout, and that will save you 15% off. All right, guys, so we're getting our pre-workout meal ready here. This meal here, I'm doing 5 ounces of chicken, and because I do higher carbs pre-workout, I do 10 grams of EAAs with this meal. And then I'm gonna be having 105 grams of carbs for pre-workout. That's gonna be coming from, I'm gonna do 90 grams of carbs from cream of rice, which is 110 grams weight. And then for the other 15 grams of carbs, just gonna be some raisins, which is about 20 grams of raisins. So yeah, I'll weigh out the cream of rice. So it's 110 grams. And I always cook my cream of rice in the pot. When you're cooking a large amount, you wanna make sure that you put it into the water pretty slow to prevent it from clumping up. Add a little bit, twirl. That way you can gauge if it needs more water. Throw our chicken on there. Same chicken as meal 1. So this meal here, I'll give you guys the totals, which I know it's 105 grams of carbohydrates. And then the protein is 48 grams, but then we got the 10 grams coming from the fermented EAAs from HD Muscle. With that, EAAs do not taste good, but I'm not having them for taste. So I'll show you guys what I do. And voila. Now we have more space for carbs. And we are ready to go.
Always the same on each meal?
Yeah, I always use a 1/4 teaspoon of salt. We're gonna get this down, get our intro workout ready, and meet Jordan Shallows at the gym. I'm gonna show you guys, the things that help me with my herniated disc and how I'm able to stay healthy and keep training. Yeah, I'm more comfortable getting getting up there.
Being on the stage again.
Yeah, it felt good.
And you look good, man.
Oh, thanks, man.
It came out when as soon as you came out. Your first pose was the most muscular. I'm like, word. You ain't playing, bro.
I didn't know you were there. I didn't see you.
No, I watched.
Okay, you watched. Yeah. Okay, yeah.
I was in Vancouver.
Yeah, I thought that. I thought you guys were in
So
Vancouver.
I did, but come on.
Yeah. No, it was
I'm paying
good.
attention.
No, it was
That was
awesome,
dope.
man.
That was dope.
I'm looking forward to Toronto Pro. It's gonna come quick too. It was like when the show, they're like, 11 weeks. I was like, 11 weeks, long time. I mean, it's gonna be 9 weeks this weekend.
Yeah.
Now it creeps up quick.
Yeah.
It goes really fast. You blink your eyes and it's there.
Yeah, it's there.
Poses time. Hey, girl, how you doing? Oh, how's everybody? Hope y'all
State
enjoying
your
your
name.
time.
This
Hope
is
y'all-
the Antoine Hamlet.
Okay.
High top Hamlet.
High top. Doing my thing in Pure. Best gym. If you haven't been here, you're missing out. You got to come through. All the boys are here, so.
And hit you up for posing.
Posing, yes. DM me. You can email me. Just go on my Instagram. Keep it simple.
Yeah.
But yeah, we're here every Saturdays. Now starting to come out here more during the week. Now that I'm getting a lot more clients, a lot of you guys are coming out. So yeah, I'm here to help everyone out in Canada, man. You ain't got to travel to the States. You got somebody right
Let's do
here.
it.
There you go. Yeah.
All right, guys, what's up? We're here at the gym. We're here with Jordan Shallows, Muscle Doc. A lot of you guys have been asking, what did I do for my herniated disc? How am I able to train? How am I able to work around it? I have L5-S1 herniated disc. I would say 2 years ago maybe.
As long as I've known you, man.
Yeah. So it's been a while. And Jordan's given me tips and some certain things to do over the years. So just wanted to get him here to sort of explain a little further because, my knowledge is sort of limited. I've been doing a lot of these movements and they've been helping me, but Jordan will sort of be able to explain them a little better.
He's the doc.
Yeah, he's the muscle doc.
Literally, he is the muscle
A
doc.
big part of what goes into the summative forces that cause low back injuries, especially disc injuries, is a lack of rotation everywhere else in the body. So without really doing any prep for this, asking Dorian what had been helpful, we're gonna see a common thread with the exercises that he's performing, and that common thread is that they're all looking to improve rotation, whether it's rotation of the shoulders, rotation of the thoracic spine, or rotation of the hips. If we can get everything peripheral to the lumbar spine to start rotating better, we have to ask the lumbar spine to rotate less. One of the underlying mechanisms of injury behind disc issues is that there's too much demand in rotation through the lumbar spine. The reason that happens is we lack rotation everywhere else. So some of the drills that he's going to do is, again, going to be trunk rotation or shoulder rotation, just allowing the body to rotate or stabilize through rotation in other places other than lower back. The way our lumbar vertebrae are designed, they don't necessarily like a hell of a lot of rotation. So if we can give them an option to give movement an option to rotate in other places, we less applied force to the low back and to those lumbar discs. A lot of people get disc injuries, they don't even know how. Right? My back hurts, my back hurts, my back hurts. Then they think it's one bad rep at deadlifts or rows or whatever. And it must have been that. So it was years of a lack of rotation elsewhere, accumulating too much rotational force to the lumbar spine. So Dorian's going to go through the drills that he's found effective, and we're just going to kind of walk through some of the execution cues.
Yeah, another thing that I've actually found with doing some of them and focusing on the protraction portion is my shoulder has gotten a lot better, and I don't know if that has to do with serratus or supporting the shoulder joint, but my shoulder, I had to have a tear in my labrum supraspinatus, and my shoulder's been amazing since I've been doing all this.
So think a lot of bodybuilders are smushed like this, right? We do a lot of chest, we do a lot of back, we do a lot of chest, we do a lot of back, we do a lot of pushing, a lot of pulling. So it's as if we just smush Dorian like this. So a lot of the stuff that Dorian's found helpful is whether it's side planks, right, which is your external obliques, or whether it's serratus work, which is up here. It's that fully envelops your lateral rib cage. So it's almost like Dorian's a smush pop can right now, and the stuff we find effective is all right, pull it apart. When he trains like this, let's smush them together this way, right? Imagine something like this rotating. It's it doesn't rotate well. But if we can smush it into the sides, this shape rotates really well. And we're not actually going to change Dorian's shape. He's always going to be this more compressed bodybuilder, but if we can have it so he functions as if he is this shape, then we can start to alleviate a lot of the symptoms of the low back and symptoms of the shoulder. So serratus and external obliques play a huge role in creating that rotation that we're looking for.
So we'll go through it. So usually what I do in the morning before or after cardio is my first movements are planks. I'll do front planks, I'll do side planks, and then I'll do these other ones that Jordan showed me. What are the ones called where you're up on your hands and you're kind of going up and over?
Yeah, it's just a serratus plank. It's a little bit more dynamic.
Yeah. So basically what I'm doing when I do my plank is I'm really trying to retract my shoulders into the ground and suck in my tummy and really squeeze my abs down. So I'll usually hold this for 35 to 60 seconds. And then after this movement here, I'll go into my side plank version. I don't know if this is proper, but again, I'm protracting the shoulder down really hard, right? I protract it down, pushing through, and I come over it, and I squeeze my obliques really hard, and I hold this for 30, 40 seconds.
I think the key here is Dorian's shoulder position relative to his torso. Most people open all the way up and have their shoulder stacked like that. That puts your shoulder in a lot of extension. You actually want it continuous, so the arm is continuous with the shoulder blade. So you notice that's like minimizing a lot of stress at Dorian's shoulder, where most people when they do side planks, they open all the way up like this. You want to keep this more neutral joint position.
So then after that, I'll obviously do the other side, and then I'll go into this other variation. I'm on my hands.
Turn your hands up.
Yeah.
Turn your hands up. There you go.
I protract, squeeze the abs, then I just slightly come up and over it. I usually perform about 10 reps. And then from there, I'll do, what's this one called? The needle one.
Thread the needle, yeah.
Thread the needle.
Yeah.
So I was just explaining to Jordan, I know the variation that you showed me is reaching, right?
Right.
So I do a combination. I do the reach, but then I also just do this and come back. And this is for the thoracic spine, right? Yeah. So this one here, open up as much as possible. Rotation. Is that proper?
Yeah, it's good. I mean, the one thing that you'll notice is not a whole lot more rotation through the lumbar spine.
I'm jammed up.
Yeah. Well, that's what you want, right? Because you don't want your body to have the option to rotate through the lumbar spine. You want to utilize like the ribs, the rib cage's ability to rotate, which a lot of times with bodybuilding we don't have, right? Like think of a back double bicep. Everyone gets here, and what do? It's like, well, what if you could actually like rotate your shoulders,
Open up without extending the ribs so much, right?
So you're right in assuming that like you want that block down.
Okay.
You want to teach your body not to default its rotation through your lumbar spine.
Yeah. And then another movement I do, I'm not sure what this one's called, they do in yoga too, but I feel like it just sort of puts my spine through the range of motion. And what's this called, Jordan?
So this is like your cat.
The cat-cow. Yeah.
And then as I'm here, I start slow. I lift my head, I drop my shoulders, and then I start from the back, push up through, neck down.
So you'll notice that like the extension is way easier for Dorian to get into, and he has a lot greater range because this is where he lives. The consistent part of all the exercises he's done so far has been protraction of the shoulder blades, posterior tilt to the pelvis. Right, so that's something that in bodybuilding especially, and like most common resistance training paradigms, is a lot of times we end up with an anterior pelvic tilt and an excessive scapular protraction, right? Chest up, shoulder blades together. These are words we hear time and again when cueing exercises. And this is kind of dosing the opposite of that, right? Getting our pelvis underneath, especially with bodybuilding. You see the posing on stage, the rib cage and the pelvis just dissociate. We end up with this massive amount of extension, which is fine. But we need to kind of touch these counterpoints. We need to find this home base where the rib cage is stacked over the pelvis. So, people look at like a flexed back or a rounded spine as a bad thing, where it can be under certain loads, but a lot of times it's the counterpoint to where we spend a lot of our time, this excessive extension. So everything Dorian's done so far has had an element of protraction through the scaps, rounding the upper back, and posterior tilt to the pelvis, which from a muscular perspective is serratus for protraction and primarily external obliques for posterior tilt.
The pelvic tilt, or whatever it's called there, has helped me tremendously because before, during the day, I wasn't, paying attention. I would just like, what would I do? My chest would be like this, my back would go back, my belly's out, and then like my back would be hurting, right?
So you think
now,
of it this way.
I'm kind of like always over it.
Right. So this, a lot of times and this is one of the big problems with bodybuilders from an aesthetic standpoint, right? They expand here and they compress back here. So if you just turn to the side quickly.
Okay.
Yeah. So they compress here and expand here. everything we've been doing right now is trying to expand here and compress here, right? So we're trying to find that balance point. Now, because we've spent a lot of time as bodybuilders like this, we need to find these complete other ranges where this is very, very expanded and this is very, very compressed, right? So that's what we're doing with a lot of these drills that have us super rounded. We're trying to touch that home base. We're trying to get them back to like this neutral range. So the defaults, it's almost like tuning a guitar. If it's out of tune one way and then you go way the other direction, and then you kind of oscillate back to that little green light in the middle.
I feel like it's even helped in training, and like, again, I've just done it because like I've been doing this stuff and I feel comfortable and I feel stabilized. But like when I do my hack squats, for example, you know, I kind of do that pelvic tilt and squeeze my abs down and almost like contract as I'm squatting, and I feel like my spine is just a lot more protected and like stronger. You know what I mean?
Right, because when we're in this extension position, the strength that we feel comes from resting like in our structure, right? Structure are things we can't contract, right? It's the joints between our vertebrae, it's the discs in between our vertebrae. Where when we're stacked, it's function, it's muscle, it's your
So
transverse.
you're taking the load off the discs,
Off the structure.
Yeah, off the structure,
putting it onto function.
putting it into the muscle.
And you can make muscle stronger. We know this, right?
Yes.
So like people who have a hard time developing glutes often because they fall in an anterior pelvic tilt. Hard time developing hamstrings and quads. It's like you're just primarily stabilizing that pelvis.
Yeah.
You're just allowing for way more output into those muscles you're trying to challenge.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's awesome. A couple other things, I mean, I spend time doing in the morning. I've been stretching out my hip flexors a lot. So, for example,
I was gonna hit him.
I would do this one here, and as I'm doing this, I kind of open up my lat and just focus on increasing the mobility in my lat. I'll drop my shoulder, open it up. And as I'm doing this stretch in the hip flexor, and I'm getting deeper and deeper into it, I get to a point where I can squeeze my glute hard, contract my glute, and I'll play with it. I'll play with it like being in this position, and then I'll do the, what do you call it, the pelvic tilt? This
Like a posterior pelvic tilt?
Posterior pelvic tilt. So then I'll do this, and I'll come into it, and I feel like keeping my hip flexors very loose and opened up, and focusing on contracting that glute also has helped me with my back and mobility. So if I get tight in my hip flexors, if I get tight in my psoas, I feel like it's a direct correlation of like, oh, let's transfer everything to the fucking back.
Yeah.
You know?
So, I mean, you can either use your back extensors or your hip extensors, right? Your hip extensors primarily your glute max. So what Dorian's kind of doing is playing with this idea of like reciprocal inhibition. It's like if we're tight in one direction, if we can contract in the other direction, we can inadvertently relax that main direction. So it's like psoas and glute max are kind of inextricably linked in the sense that one flexes the hip and one extends the hip.
Yeah.
So it's if we can get some, you know, if we can challenge that hip extension and sort of get that on board in further end ranges of like this hip flexion, then we'll sort of balance again, just create balance between extension and flexion, so you don't just end up biasing this, because this just tells me that your psoas is a nightmare, right?
Yeah,
that it's pulling you into your
And I've had that tight before, and man, if that gets jammed up and tight, it's...
You're sitting on the chair and calling me at 10 o'clock.
A couple times, Jordan.
Garage floor.
Come over. Yeah, so the other thing for my shoulders that I have made it a habit to do every morning, and it might be a little tight right now, but basically I go behind the back, start here, and I'll actually spend some time here, and I'll just kind of like stretch my biceps and my chest, and I'll kind of put pressure here. I'll put pressure like this from this side, and I'll stretch the other side. So I play with that, and then I'll just go into some rotations where I'll come up and around.
It's amazing that you can do that.
Yeah, and I'll come all the way down. I get a stretch in the forearms, and the shoulders are loosening up. And I'll come all the way back around, open up, and I'll perform about 10 reps of this. And to make it even more challenging, what I'll end up doing is maybe bring my hands in about an inch. So I'll maybe go to about right here. And I don't know why, but it makes it more challenging.
Yeah.
So then, oh, that's a tight one. But as I keep performing the reps, it drastically gets looser and looser and looser. And I feel like that's been amazing for my shoulders, just keeping them healthy.
Well, I mean, think about it, right? Like, especially with bodybuilding, it's so, not honestly predictable, but everyone suffers from the same thing. Like, I'll always go back to, like, the back double bicep, right? Everyone gets to here, and this is how, like, they can't scratch their back, they can't wipe their ass, they can't put their clothes on, but they need to somehow do this on stage. So, like, they're trying to externally rotate the shoulder. So they're here, and rather than doing this, right, just actively externally rotating the shoulders, they do this. and they end up in this extension. What do we have? We have more back here, we have more expansion here, and everyone has this giant gut, and then bodybuilding gets made fun of. And it's just like, well, if only you could just do this, right? So
And this helps with that.
yeah, absolutely. It just creates more rotation through the shoulders. So
Even for my side tricep pose, like years ago when I bodybuilded, I could never hit a side tricep, like to the day of the show. So now with doing this, I do some rotations and boom, I grab my arm, no problem. A lot more mobility in the shoulder joint. It's been great. So yeah, it's been amazing to have Jordan, you know, come into the gym here, and now he's got his offices here, his home base. He's helped me tremendously with getting back on stage and just, you know, working around injuries and just understanding the cause and effect of certain movements, things I need to stay away from.
And the sport that you're in, right? Like you understand bodybuilding. You're not just,
Jordan
right?
lifts himself. You were like, you had some powerlifting records and stuff. Right?
yeah, I mean, it's lifted fairly competitively.
Don't be modest.
I was traveling the world doing seminars and teaching, and that's amazing. If you guys are not following Jordan, what's your YouTube and your IG?
It's all under the Muscle Doc. So YouTube is the Muscle Doc. Just search my name, Jordan Shallow, and Instagram is at the _muscle_doc DOC.
And if anyone has injuries or they want, like, you know, you to put together something based on their injuries, like warm-ups or, you know, active stretching, whatever you want to call it, can they reach out to you? Is that something you
Yes, so themuscledoc.com, I do some one-to-one consulting, so by the hour basis, depending on like the complexity of injuries. So
Yeah, so I know Jordan's put together some awesome programs for me in the past. Basically puts it on a PDF, he has clickable links on it, so you can click on it, make sure you're doing it properly, because sometimes it's hard if someone's like, oh yeah, you know, do this. And you're like, well, what are the cues? What am I trying to do? So he's put together a library of like clickable links where he's telling you how to do it, you know what I mean, in detail. So that helped me a lot, you know, when you prescribe me those
it's
plans.
just like bodybuilding, right? Like execution. You have a client who's like, oh, my delts are shit. It's like, well, send me your lateral raises. It's like, well, that's probably why your delts are shit.
You're just like, you know, someone will be, oh, I do side laterals. Well, there's about a million ways to do dumbbell side laterals.
So how bad it is in bodybuilding with a side lateral is 10 times worse with rehab drills you've never done before.
Yeah.
Right. So yeah, the execution cues, just like any part of training,
So that's why I think, like, if you're serious about your goals, or whether you're a bodybuilder or an athlete, I think it's really important, like, the time and effort you're putting into your training, like, you can't get time back. So to make sure you're doing things properly and the most efficiently, like, it's money well spent. So I definitely recommend you guys check out Jordan. I decided to go back to an older style of training that I've done in the past. It worked really, really well for me. I just started it last week. It's gonna be my second workout. Basically, maybe you want to call it progressive overload. I don't really like to call it that, but that's what a lot of people have adopted as. Basically, I'm recording all my top sets. So I will perform 2, 3, 4, as many feel sets as I need to get to a weight where I feel comfortable to put everything into that set, taking it to failure, not beyond failure, and then I will use whatever technique, whether it's a rest pause, whether it's a drop set, and each week I sort of want to improve upon that. So last chest workout, I did the pec deck for 235 pounds for 12 reps. So I'm either going to try and beat that by a rep today, maybe do a drop set because I didn't last week, just something to increase intensity, especially as we're coming out of the rebound phase. You know, I'm slowly looking to get stronger, increase my training intensity. I didn't want to push things too much the first week, so we're going to try and improve upon this. So I'm going to film the top sets for you guys so you can see what that looked like. I'm not going to bore you with the field sets. So last week we did 235 pounds on the pec deck for 12 reps. So I'm actually feeling pretty good as I'm warming up here. So I'm going to try 250 pounds, and we're going to try and get that for 12 reps. 13 reps. 15-pound increase and 1 extra rep. That's great. Hey Noah, you might give me a spot? Oh yeah, these are beauties. Nice give to them. It's gonna add at least a couple reps to my set here. Last week I did the 130s, I got 8 reps. That was my first time touching those weights in a long, long time. So I'm gonna try them again. I'm gonna try and get 10 reps. Get nice and strong. I'm more hydrated this week. So we will try and do 10 reps here. No bouncing, lots of control. Strong. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I got it. Hey. Yep. Done. One more. There we go. I got it. Oh, that was 3 more reps. Thanks, Noah. That was 3 more reps than last week, so that's 11 reps. This training is so much fun. You know, I really make sure though, that when I'm training like this, in the past, I would easily get injured because we're focused upon a number. But if you scroll back, watch the set. I'm very tight, I'm very locked in. As soon as I know that I can't get another rep on myself without breaking form, and throwing my shoulder into it, or muscling it up, I shut her down. I gotta be very careful. And you know, I love this type of training. Like, it just feels so good to see the progression. Obviously, your strength is gonna get to a point where you can't keep on focusing on like more reps, but you can use other techniques, drop sets, rest pause, slow down the reps. There's all these other techniques.
But it's fun to keep you motivated.
Yeah, it's great. I really do love it. And I have seen my best results when I was younger doing this. So I am excited to see over the next 9 weeks how much I can improve my physique. You know, sort of adopting this sort of training.
When's the last time you trained like this? You keep saying when you're younger.
Last time, well, in 2012 to 2013, when I made the most improvements I ever made in my life, I did this style of training.
It's hard to think like 2012 was 10 years ago soon.
Yeah.
Like, what the heck?
I know, it's unbelievable.
Like, 2013 is like,
Flies.
oh my gosh.
It's insane. But that felt so great. Like, I want to do another set, but I'm gonna shut her down. You know, I don't want to overdo it. I don't want to get too excited and hurt myself.
They feel good with the
These
wraps.
feel amazing. Whenever I've had my strongest lifts, I've always worn the wrist wraps and sleeves, especially with a torn tricep tendon. So this just really gives you the support. And these ones are like, they're actually way better than I expected. They're amazing. So Mike here, I met Mike, oh my gosh, long time ago. But Mike turned pro, was it 2003 or 4?
2004.
So the year after Frank McGrath, right? So I remember seeing him guest pose. I didn't really know who he was because I was just getting into bodybuilding at that time. But he guest posed at one of the shows here. He came out, we were posing like a house song. He came out, massive, so round, crazy muscle bellies. I'd never seen it. He was the biggest guy I'd ever seen. And then I started going to Brampton training at the old Bodyworks there, right? Yeah. I'd see you there and I'm just like, who is this guy? Legs, hamstrings, massive. And I haven't seen him in it's probably been 4 or 5 years. Yeah, and he just came to the gym, so it's so cool up Pure Muscle here, bringing everyone together. And Mike just told me he's turning 49 years old, and look at the size of him.
2 days.
Link your skincare. We want to know.
He's still got bigger arms than me. He's eating 3 meals a day. Genetics are crazy. I want to see him get back in shape because it's crazy. It's motivating.
That's it.
It's motivating for me to see because it's like one of those things where as we get older, like we want to look good, we want to feel good, and seeing someone like Mike who's lived a lifestyle for so long and he still looks like so incredible, it's like super motivating, inspiring. So
It's nice. These guys, they done a great job, you know?
Thank you, man.
Right now, it looks like this is where the real Mecca is at.
Yeah.
Mecca of the North.
And you're here to train legs?
Oh, No, today, you mean?
Yeah.
No, delts.
Delts.
Yeah, no.
Okay. Yeah.
It's going to take a little while before the length
Even though it looks
in.
like he just did a couple sets of arms.
Yeah.
He's doing delts.
Doing delts, you know what I mean?
Thanks. All right, next movement is on the other side. It's a prime flat press. I really like that. It reminds me of when I used to love doing barbell presses. Everything feels so good. I don't know what it is.
Post-show rebound.
I think I'm gonna grow a lot between last show and this show. Last week we did 6 reps here. We're gonna try and get 7. Cody's gonna be here to assist me. Let's do it. This was heavy as fuck last week.
Let's go strong. Drive it up. Yep. Come on now. Drive. Go you. Work. Come on. Go. Up. There you go.
That's 3 more reps. Even the 130s over there, last week we did 8. Yeah. Got like 11. Solid.
You're gonna get really strong again.
You're not.
Yeah. Last week I did the hammer decline. I did 110 pounds and I got 8.5 reps. I couldn't finish the last rep. I shut her down because again, I'm very, very cautious of getting injured, my shoulder. So let's see if we can get 9 or 10 reps today. Doesn't get much better than that for progress week to week. Happy with that. It's very cool. My 5th exercise, I actually switched this one up. Today I'm going to use the Gym.co fly. This is the best plate loaded fly you can get. If you guys are interested, we distribute it through Muscle Athletics. But come to the back here, full adjustability. So you can actually change the range. So that's really cool. The bench is a really cool design. Get your scapula to come over it. Yeah, we're gonna probably try and get like 8 reps. I'm gonna try and hold it at the top for peak contraction.
Good work. What? These are your workout pants?
Yep.
You got your sneakers on.
Yeah.
What's the resistance?
What? I don't know. I don't
You're
even
just
know.
cruising?
I don't even know what this is. What is it?
It's a bike.
No, but what am I doing?
People, this is Dorian's father, Noah's father. This is the Tom Hamilton, super real estate agent.
We're doing calories already. Not bad for a half hour, right?
You've been on here half an hour. Okay, good job. Keep it up.
This is craziness.
Why?
Because a lot of volume. I love volume. So I'm going for 100 grams of carbs. This sourdough bread for 50 grams, 0 fat, 13 carbs. So I need about 300 grams. So 300 grams will give us 80 carbs, and then we'll just like put some jam on it. Look at that, bang on, look at that. 300 grams. Yeah, so post-workout, I either do like white bread with jam or honey. Today's 105 grams carbs. Or I'll do like cereal. Yesterday I did Fruit Loops. I'm out of almond milk though, so I'm gonna do the white bread. And I'll do 5 ounces of chicken again and weigh that out. And with this meal here being post-workout, I'm gonna have 10 grams of glutamine. And we're gonna need a little Flavor Flav to get down the EAAs. The glutamine is easy. So while we're cooking the meal, like 10 minutes prior, do my glycolate feed, do like 2 scoops of glutamine. Glutamine is literally tasteless, nothing. Now this one here is a different story. Obviously pre-contest, I'm having higher protein, so I don't do that. And what I'll do is, when these meals are on the workout, because the carbs are high, you guys will see, that I'm doing that because the protein's a little lower. But once my carbs get cut back for the next meals, I'll kick my protein back up to 8 ounces. So we are just waiting for the rest of the toast. And we're weighing out 20 grams of carbs, or 25 grams of carbs from organic strawberry jam. And we're gonna put that over our sourdough bread. Just give this all nice and crispy. These guys will be ready.
Do you measure your jam?
Well, I kind of just know from doing it so many times. It's basically per tablespoon, it's 8 grams of carbs with this one. All right, guys, so got home from the gym, had my post-workout meal. I actually went out and grabbed a tan, and then I went to the grocery store, grabbed a couple errands, quick little things. Got home, I'm supposed to be having flank steak this meal. Prep shop is supposed to have it delivered by now. It's not delivered, they're running a little late. So we had to go ahead and swap around the meals. Instead of flank steak, I'm gonna be doing 8 ounces of salmon. I got my 200 grams of white sushi rice, and I got my favorite apple, which is Honey Crisp. And right before this meal, I'll do 2 tablespoons apple cider vinegar right here. And so this meal, let me pull up the exact calories for you guys. 55 grams of protein. We got 25 grams of fat from the salmon. And he's going crazy.
Kicking the shit out of Jerry.
Yeah. So then we got 80 grams of carbs from the white rice and the apple. So yeah, that's this meal. Calories in this meal are going to be somewhere around. The meals here are swapped around. Swapped out the flank and the salmon, but it's going to be somewhere around 800 calories. So we're going to get this down. Not sure if I already went over this with you guys, but my calories right now are. Get him! Attack! So the calories right now are just over 4,300 calories, 350 protein, 500 carb, 102 fat. Today's my regular training day, but tomorrow is a leg day. So I'm trying to get a little footage tomorrow. I'm training with Ben. Calories are even higher tomorrow, slightly higher, more carbs around the workout. So I'm stabilizing my weight really good, 245 pounds, 5 pounds over competition weight, which is right where we want to be. And then today, my workout was crazy, performance is at, it's just scaling up. Every workout I do, I'm feeling very good in the gym. So everything's good. One thing I need to pay more attention to is making sure I get to bed earlier, getting some more sleep, because I've only been averaging about 6 hours a night lately. So I'm going to work hard on that. It's tough because I have all these clients in the Amateur Olympia right now. Emerson wakes up at 5:30, he updates me. Then Val's at 6. Then Regan's at 6:45. Then Juji's at, so it's last night I went to bed at 2 a.m.
You've shown this in previous YouTube videos.
Oh yeah. Love sushi rice. Honey Crisp apple. I have been pan frying some peppers with this meal too. But actually I got Prep Shop to make them for me this time, so we're just waiting for them. So hopefully our next meal, we could show you guys. All right, guys, so preparing, oh man, fresh out. We are preparing meal 5, and then I'm gonna make my shake. I'm gonna show you guys how to make like an ice cream sort of protein shake with Pro HD. I'm gonna throw that in the freezer. I'm gonna go to bed, and I'm gonna wake up. What? I'm gonna wake up in a couple hours when I pee, and then I'll just have my shake. I wouldn't typically do that, but I gotta work out with Ben tomorrow morning at 10 a.m. We're doing legs, Ben Mikulski. So I wanna make sure I get a good night's sleep because I've had a bad habit of going to bed really late. And it's already 11:30, so I wanna get to bed. We got our prep shop flank steak, it's really good. And I just got them to start doing vegetables because they gave me some samples to try, and they're really good. So I got carrot, zucchini, and bell peppers. And then the flank steak here was unbelievable. So we're gonna throw this on there because it's kind of rare, medium rare. Before we eat the meal, we're gonna take 3 caps of Sleep HD. So I'll do the little Benzyme twice a day. When I take the liver and the kidney, I do that between meals. That's really good for inflammation. I find it's really good for stomach inflammation. And then in the evening time, even though the Vite HD has curcumin in it, I'll actually take another serving of curcumin. So I find it that I'm gonna do this, put my rice on top. That too, that's a little stir fry. All right guys, so in this meal here, 8-ounce flank steak, 62 grams of protein, 18 grams of fat. The rice, there's 56 grams of carbs. And then obviously we have some carbs from the vegetables. So it's about 635 calories. It's gonna be more with the vegetables. Maybe pushing like 675, 680. That is a muscle building meal right there. Something else I forgot to mention with my evening meal, I take citrus bergamot. I've been doing this since like 2012. Swear by it. It's very good for cholesterol. There was a time where my cholesterol levels were out of whack. I had very, very low HDL, and supplementing with citrus bergamot really helped bring up my HDL. And it's also very good for blood glucose. So with bodybuilders, blood glucose is very important. So I definitely recommend you guys, anyone that's having issues with cholesterol, definitely get citrus bergamot. Flank steak, when it's done right, to me, it's the best tasting steak there is. All right, so here is the shake. Hoping this turns into an ice cream. So the ingredients: very little bit of water, maybe 100 mils, 125 mils max. We got about 10 ice cubes here. For fats, we got avocado. We're gonna do half. I'm gonna mix it up between the nut butters, almond butter, the cashew butter. We're gonna use peanut butter today because it goes really nice with the Pro HD. Chocolate peanut butter. I'm gonna put my salt in there, and for some reason, doesn't matter what the flavor is, I've been putting cinnamon lately, and I like it. So I got all that in here, mixed up. So we're gonna go ahead, cut this avocado. We're gonna do a little bit of a heaping, but it's a good one. And I mean, depending on the blend you guys have, you have to play with the amounts. I'm gonna add some ice cubes, half the ice cubes. We're gonna put all our powder in there, it's all mixed. We're gonna add the rest of the ice cubes. All right, see what we got. I can feel the consistency. These 2 more ice cubes.
This has been going for 10 minutes.
It's a new blender. I had the old version of the Vitamix, just got this new one. So it's gonna take a little getting used to. Once you get used to it, like this is my first time actually using it. So because this didn't come out like crazy thick, what we'll do is we'll just throw it in the freezer, and I'm gonna wake up in a couple hours. But you can see how thick it is, right? High protein ice cream, no carbs. Give it a couple whips like that. We're gonna put that.
Couple whip and nays.
Yeah, a couple whips, a couple nays. Put that in the freezer. All right, guys, that is it for today. I'm gonna be filming tour with Ben, so I hope you guys enjoy that. Thanks for tuning in. If you haven't subscribed, make sure you subscribe. Please comment down below. I want to know what you guys want to see more of. Appreciate all your guys' support. Until next time.